What's up, people? What's going on? Yo, I'm Jeff Taylor, and this is my damn show. I'm so glad you could tune in. I got one of my dearest friends is here today. We go way back. We got history. Most people can't say this. We got like some serious history. We made some records, spent some time in the studio together, vibed a little bit. You know, been through life's up and downs the same way. You know, all that good stuff. Who's this? Who's this I'm talking about? I'm talking about my guest. And he is Mr. Let me see, where I got him over here somewhere. I got my guest coming up, Mr. Tony Tolbert. This is the man on the left right there. He's the guy with the cane, yeah. He's the pimp in the group. That's that guy right there. That's the Prof Master. You can call him what you want to. They call him Prof T. They call him Profitable. I call him Profitable Tony because every time you sit down and put that paper, somebody getting rich up in this bit. And he be like, yo. You gotta pull up on me, get these lyrics. Anyway, before we get into that and all the dramatic stuff that's happening in the world, I really quickly want to get into a little news bit real quick. Talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the news. You say, what's news? I say, this is news, baby. There's always some news to talk about. Dig this. What's happening in the news right now? I'll tell you what's happening in the news as I get my stuff together here. Man, this guy is in the news in a big way. Man, look, Usher is literally out there in Vegas raping and pillaging, and I ain't bullshitting, man. He is really putting on a show out there, one that is one for the ages, man. He's really got it going on. You got to be proud of the young dude because he's put the work in. That should have happened a long time ago. Prof knows all about Usher. Prof been in the booth with writing and singing and ad-libbing with this cat. So these are the kind of guests I'm trying to bring to the show. So Usher's really out there doing this thing, man, and you gotta love it, bro. You gots to. And if you don't love it, then something's wrong with you because the man was out there. Look, he's ripping it up. People calling me, don't do that now. Yeah, man. Listen, when I tell you the man was having a great time and everybody was loving it, it was a good time, wasn't it, baby? Baby. Wasn't it a good show? It was a good show, wasn't it? Yeah, that smile says everything. There it is right there. Look, who's powering this junk, you say? Original songwriters and programmers, the Avila brothers. These two hitters right here on stage, up in the pit, killing the Usher show live every night. I was there last week, Wednesday, Thursday, I forget. I haven't slept since then. But it was one of those days when he hit that stage and them boys hit that band, they lit it up. It was something spectacular to see. So I'm enthusiastic about it. I'm spreading the word because I want folks to go out and see this show. Go out there and see what Usher has to offer. He's live at the Coliseum. It's a residency. He's going to be there for a minute. And that is amazing. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed with myself, mostly being able to get all these buttons pushed. Hey, what other news we got here? We got Carlos Santana's birthday today. He's like 75 years old, man. Look, I saw some pictures earlier today. They had him out at Woodstock. He was like 22 years old. They said the story was somebody handed him some acid. He took the acid. They said, you're going to go on in about 5 hours. He was like, cool, laid back. Then they said, oh, wait a minute. You're going on in 15 minutes. There's these pictures with his teeth grinding. He's Carlos Santana, baby. None like him. Hey, man, what else is in the news? I just missed this. This cat right here, this is Yeezy. In case you didn't know, you can't tell anymore because he wears a mask. You literally have to look at his shoes to see who the hell the dude is. That's him. He just had a listening party in Vegas too. Vegas with all the dispensaries where you can buy legal marijuana and all of that alcohol at the same time. Man, I lost my damn mind in Vegas. I'm so happy to be home. It's so nice to be home. My bed is comfortable. That's one of the things that I realized, that I got a really comfortable bed, and I'm grateful for that. Anyway, that's all the news I want to share. Look, people, without further ado, I got to bring my guest into the set. You know this cat as Prof T, Tony Tolbert, Low Key. I got a thing for you, baby. Okay, next. When I say next, I'm not talking about the next thing. I'm talking about he did next. He wrote next. Yeah, that's it up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. This is him. It is. It is him. It's Prof T. Prof, what's going on, man?
What's going on, baby? How you?
Prof T, we want to welcome you to the show.
Hey, Jeff, I'm glad to be here, brother. I love this. This is dope, man.
Hey, man.
I love it.
This is wonderful. I'm so glad you could be here, man. Tony Tolbert, a.k.a. Prof Teezy, like I said earlier on the show. You can call him Prof T, Prof Teezy, Tony Tolbert, or like I call him, Profitable Tony. Get it, Tony? What's been happening, man? It's been too long since we saw each other, brother.
It has, brother. It's been way, way too long, man. I tell you. So thank you for inviting me. I mean, man, I love this. The layout, everything, Jeff. This is
Oh man,
beautiful. Let's do this.
I appreciate you, man. You know I appreciate you, man. You know one thing's about Tony. Let's smile. Look at that smile, folks. See this smile you see right here. I work to do this. I don't wake up with this. My lips be crusted together. That brother wake up with that smile every day, just like that.
I'm telling you.
That's what
People
I know
say it
about
all
him.
the time.
That's the ladies, man. Stop, Tony. Stop smiling at the ladies like that. They out here. They looking because they've been asking me when you was coming on. So, hey,
Yeah,
and I know
right.
you're a married man and all of that, and you know, of course. But,
Indeed.
it's just you got that showmanship, that showbiz thing. We got to always address that. So what's been
Nah.
happening, man? I had Lance on the show.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lance did an episode. We kicked it. You were episode number 32.
Nice.
No,
Man.
I don't even know what to say. Just been busting my butt.
Man.
Sometimes I'm the only
You're a
person watching the
natural.
show, Tony. Sometimes it's just me watching. My mother watches.
Your
and,
moms, yeah,
But
that's
hey,
right.
we keep coming, baby. We keep coming because you know
right.
what? The mentality is pull up on me, baby. Pull up on me. Anyway,
Nice.
Prof Teezy, listen, man.
Yeah, brother.
You're a talented dude, man. And here's a picture. I got a picture over here I want to show you of you going way back in the day. I thought this was interesting, Prof.
Wow.
Check this out. That's Prof. That's Prof. Like, how old are you in this picture, Prof?
17.
17 years old, got that trumpet, bruh.
Yep.
You were out there literally like you were a band dude since very, very young. Tell me about your start in Kansas City and why that trumpet. That was my first instrument too, by the way. That was the first instrument I ever played.
Ah.
I can still smell that. You know that oil smell? You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about in the case? You'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But tell me about that,
Love
Tony.
it.
What put that instrument in your hands, and then what led that to everything else that happened that followed after that?
Man, it's crazy because I fell into music. I was actually headed to Missouri in Columbia, University of Missouri. I was going to do communications. I wanted to get a degree in communications. I wanted to work for a major television studio and then eventually, produce and direct. So that was what I wanted to do. But in the meantime, D. Barry or Darren D. Story, who was in the group Low Key, or still in the group Low Key, he was bugging me to get in this band, man, because I had been playing in marching band, playing trumpet. He was like, man, we got this group, man. We like a cameo style group. Why don't you come on and join us, man? Get down. And I kept like, man, I ain't trying to do that, bro. I got plans. But he kept being persistent and eventually pulled me in. We started playing around Kansas City. I was 16 at the time, 15 at the time. We were playing clubs, everything. And eventually we moved to Minneapolis. And turned out that like a few of the other cats who eventually ended up in Low Key, meaning Lance and T-Bone, they moved up to Minneapolis at a different time frame. So we were all up in Minneapolis. We decided to put the band back together up there. And then we started playing because I think that picture you got, now that's in Lance's basement right there. That's actually Low Key. We were working on the second album on that
All right,
picture.
I got a low head. Okay, but all right.
But yeah, no doubt. But no, man, we hooked up in Minneapolis, started playing, man, and then kind of, I don't know if I should go into any more detail, but that's really, I kind of fell into music, more or less.
So
But
D
I guess
Story
it's just
was
a natural thing.
D Story was a big influence then, and the whole thing then, and that's something that I didn't really know. I never knew that really. I thought literally it was you and Lance's thing, and that was it. But D Story was a key component to that group in the early days.
No, he absolutely was, man. He and T-Bone. We were in a band called Grand Jury Band. We were Cameo Part 2, basically. And we jammed separately, but eventually in Minneapolis we got together. We formed the whole group, and yeah, man, that's when me and Lance formed our relationship as songwriters and producers, and just kind of went from there.
That's kind of how it happened. So
Yeah, bro.
you saw the Avila Brothers earlier with Usher and everything, and part of my understanding, Tony, and part of my experience at Fly Time with you was that you were always you were on the B team. You and Lance were considered the B team. So, but even years later after that dissolved, you were still, in my mind, seen by Jimmy and Terry as a key person to have in studio situations all the time, because you were always been those key situations with certain artists writing and singing and so forth and shooting out melodies and stuff like that. What kind of role would you say you played there? You kind of role did you play for Flight Time back in the day?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you kind of nailed it, man. I was just the resident songwriter and slash producer, sometimes slash producer, but mostly songwriter, man. It just, like you said, initially when we got signed to Flight Time, this is '89 of October, Lance and I, we came in right away. Like the first day, Johnny Gill was in the studio working on his album. And so our first day in the studio was with Johnny Gill. I was like, we went from a basement 4-track Tascam cassette recorder into Flight Time 24-track studios in each studio, man. So it was mind blowing. Yeah. And then eventually, Lance and I started working with Alexander O'Neal, Shanice Wilson, and then eventually Low Key. And then that kind of became kind of the focal for a minute. We really were kind of, trying to establish ourselves, but the group took a little bit of that time away. Luckily, in between time, that's when we discovered Next playing at a Juneteenth celebration back in, I think it was like 94.
Now, when you say Next, you mean
the group Next.
The group Next. I mean, that's pretty significant. I mean, we're talking some major hit records with this group right here that you just
man, that was a cool experience. Yeah, man, we saw them. They were 4 members at the time. The group was called Format, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was another name. Anyway, regardless. So we would sneak them into Flight Time. I don't know if Lance, he probably said this. We would sneak them into Flight Time like after hours, like late, like 1 o'clock in the morning. RL was still in high school.
Tony, I was in the building when you were sneaking in that joint. I was there.
Yeah, I know you were there. I'm talking to you like you ain't.
Y'all was late night too, boy. You look at your watch and be like, oh, it's 3 a.m. I'm going to go home. Here come Low Key. Here comes Prof and the boys. 3:30 a.m.
That's right, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Trying to get it in, man. So, man, it was a great ride, man. And Flight Time was like college. I learned so much in that time with them. And eventually, when Lance and I parted ways, I hung around. I started working with other projects they had coming through there. Heather Headley, Maya. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank on a few of them. Many.
Damn many.
It was quite a few. Yeah, man, it was. We were kind of rolling at that time. It was right before the internet kind of shook the whole industry up. Right. So it was good times, man. I can't thank Jimmy and Terry enough for that education.
Amazing,
that we gained.
I mean, you said Johnny Gill was your first. They threw you in with Johnny. My first session was with Boyz II Men. All of them.
Oh.
They were all producing. This was when they wanted to produce. Thank you. They wanted to produce the joint by themselves, and Louis Silas them gave in and said, "All right, you can produce one song." They grabbed. I was the engineer. And listen, it was a bunch of guys in there producing. I didn't know, 6 or 7. And Dallas was down in Atlanta. Dallas had fell out with them. He wouldn't come up and do the track. So it was a weird thing, but.
No.
Yeah, it was nuts. But that's how it goes, man. That's how the business goes, bro. But look, man, you did, so Low Key, prior to Next, you guys did an album. You did 2 albums.
We did. We absolutely did.
Where They At? Yep. You had a hit record, bro.
Yeah, man. It's.
Do I need to remind you?
Yeah, dude. Go on and play it. I love this record. I'm not one of them cats. That's my favorite Low Key song.
The intro, bros. I love the intro on the record. The intro on the record is just, you guys.
Unmistakable.
You guys was like. I loved it. I love it.
Yeah, baby.
That's talent, man. That's talent. So that's real talent, is what that
something.
is. So so you toured, you put this record out, and then you toured. I remember you guys were so busy. I remember you guys were there, and then you was on the road, and then you were off somewhere recording and pre-production, and I was like, when are they coming back to do this record? You guys was busy, man, and that's what a hit record will do, huh?
Yeah, man. No, it was a good time, man. We just caught that sweet spot of the 90s where like it was so many really amazing groups that came out around
Mm-hmm.
that time. And luckily we wrote a soul classic.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't do nothing else, I can say, hey, I wrote a soul classic.
That ain't going
And that's
nowhere
all
no
right
time
with me.
soon.
Thanks
That's
for you.
definitely a
Yeah, man.
classic.
Thanks for using it. And I hear it even more now because, of course, satellite radio's playing it. So we
Yeah.
officially old school. So I hear it all the time. People hit me up. Hey, man, you on the radio? I'm like, yeah, well.
It's been years.
Nice.
It's been a minute, too. I mean, that song was written,
Dude.
how many, 20-some years ago?
That song was written in 1991.
Damn, boy.
So
We getting
officially
old,
20...
man. We getting old.
No,
Time is flying, bro.
Is that 30?
That's damn near 30. That's 30-something years, man. That is 30 years. Damn. Wow. Hey, Tony, I'm sorry to put that on us like that.
I know, man.
But yeah, that's what happens,
crazy.
man. You write a great song and then it lasts for 30 years and it's still going. So as people are still playing that song, there's people hearing that song for the first time saying, "Damn, I got a thing for you." Like I was talking to a cousin of mine like a couple years ago. He's like, "You heard that chant? I got a thing for you." I was like, "You talking about low key?" He was like, "Man, that's my shit." I was like, "Yeah, I heard that, John. I heard that."
We old school, baby. We old
That's
school
funny.
now. I love it.
I don't know when that happened, but I'm riding with being old school. But speaking of old school, man, I mean, we can't be having pictures out here like this in the internet and not show them when we start talking about old school because if y'all could have seen Tony in the green room, he almost choked on his water. See, that's why I
Hold up.
put
You
up
see
pictures
who
like
that is in the yellow shirt back there?
That's
right?
Homer Odell.
Yeah.
That's Homer Odell.
That's
D-Story
before
and
mint
you.
condition.
Rocking them ready for the world looks.
That's right.
That was
Actually, I think that mint condition was around at that time, but we were grand jury. We had just kind of broken up as grand jury. So that was Minneapolis before we got to deal with Flight Time.
And I
We
think
were working
before,
in some
before
studio
Mint
over
signed
south,
too,
man.
right?
Yeah.
That was right around that
It was before the Mint
early
record
days.
too, yeah.
So you seen your boy
man.
Stokely lately.
Yeah.
He's a star.
Oh, well, I mean, duh.
Straight up a star. You know what? And people don't even know how well that man can play the drums, bro.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't understand how nobody known that because
know
you
that.
go to the show, you see him get on the skins, man. He's one of the coldest ever.
Ever, man. Like really a cold dude. It's just
Bro,
amazing.
I've
But
been
these
a
are the people.
Stokely fan from the beginning, bro.
These are
I
the folks,
know.
man, that were a part of that camp. You know, speaking of people, bro, you know, and I know this is tough for you because I know that you guys were close, man. Big Jim, you guys were real tight. You know, he was one of your partners, man. I know you put a lot of lyrics to things that he was doing and melodies and stuff like that, man. And, you know, I know it was a pleasure for me having a chance to work with this dude in the early days. And, you know, you guys were out there in LA together for a minute, right? Weren't you prior to you getting up and moving back to Dallas or wherever?
Yeah, man. What was it? I think it was 2002 or 3 is when Flight Time made its jump to Los Angeles officially, and we just, packed up and went with him, and continued to write. At the time, I think we were working on the Usher record, the Confessions album. But what happened is Janet was working on the Demita Joe record at the same time, so you had the camp upstairs, which was Terry Lewis, and the Avila brothers was going back and forth,
Right.
But it was mostly Terry and Big Jim upstairs working with Usher, and me and Jimmy Jam were downstairs working with Janet on the Demita Joe record. But I did get to sing background on that album. I'm singing on First Bad Girl, which I love that Usher record. That is like one of my favorite Usher songs. So I'm in the background. If you listen, you can hear me. I'm right underneath it. Just a little tiny bit.
I bet I can find you because I know just where they would place you in that spirit.
Right. Right? Okay.
Yeah. But that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, man. So Big Jim, man, tough loss. It still hurts. Still to this day. Not over that one. Too sudden, too soon.
Yeah.
His gift was amazing.
Amazing.
Beyond belief. People have no idea.
No idea, man.
And man, yeah. You got me off guard with that one. I wasn't ready.
You
That's
know,
my brother, man.
Big Jim is, you know what was the thing that I could say that was most remarkable about Big Jim when he touched a piano, whether it was a grand piano, electric piano, synthesizer, whatever. When he touched those keys, it was fun for everybody, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was fun for everybody if you was in there.
Yes.
And that's an amazing gift. Goes beyond the technical, doesn't it? The theory and all that. He's got an ability now to take the technical, connect it to the theory, and then make you have a good time while you're there listening. And that's rare.
He's such a translator of the music. He understood it on a different level because, of course, he was skilled. He could read music. He could play from the B3 to the you name it. The dude was gifted, but he just had this way of being able to borrow from the old. Honestly, what Bruno Mars is doing is like an elegant I'll say Big Jim did an elegant version of what Bruno Mars is doing. Is basically taking what was old and what sounds familiar and making it fresh.
Right. And it's a brilliant concept too, right? Because the new audience is going, leave the door open. They're like, I ain't never heard such a thing. And we're going, damn,
come on, man.
That's all the 70s was that. Like, come on.
He just did their stylistics.
Basically. And killed
Shy
it.
Lights. And dude, that's a whole, we could do an hour on Bruno, man.
Killed it. But speaking of Bruno and influences, I know you have some, and this is one of those influences. This is one of those groups that you modeled yourselves after in the early days, huh?
No doubt. Still to this day, my favorite all-time band. There's Tommy Jenkins. Is that Tommy? Because I think they've gone through, they had some issues recently.
Was Tommy still with the group? Because this looks like a newer lineup
no.
right there, I think.
He's no longer. It's like, I think it's just Larry and others.
Larry and others.
Now. Yeah, man. But, dude, that group right there. Yeah. Because the thing about Cameo that people don't understand about all the funk groups of that era, because you had Ohio Players, Confunction, all these cats, they were from New York. Mm-hmm. So their funk is a little different. It was always, it's so layered. Mm-hmm. It wasn't traditional Midwestern funk because even, you got Parliament. Everybody was from Ohio, Detroit.
New Jersey.
I'm sorry, what is it, Detroit, Michigan, rather? Yeah, but, Cameo was from the East Coast. Right. So their approach was slightly different, man. And I don't know, man. We just connected. Mm-hmm. And I'm, to this day, still my favorite band all time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Me and you, speaking of bands, favorite bands, the last time I saw you probably was, 2000, I think 11 or 12, Tony. We were hanging out in Dallas at a Mint Condition show at the House of Blues. You remember that?
Yeah.
Came into the show and then we bumped into each other and it was great to see you. I know we hung out, had some dinner with a bunch of ladies or something that evening, or a bunch of people that evening.
Oh, that's right.
You remember that? I remember that. And
There's a picture of that night. Somebody got a picture that night. So,
yeah, I have one somewhere. I couldn't find the damn thing. I was like, what? And then know it's somewhere on one of my hard drives too, because I have a picture of all of us at the table and whatnot. And we took some pictures. We hung out with Stokely and Larry and those guys from Mint.
Yeah, man.
I was working with Fred. I was living in Dallas, working with Fred Hammond for that year, but I didn't really like Dallas a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, brother, because I'm loving Texas.
That's good.
We're going to put a clothes sign up here now. Everybody and their mama moving here now. It's crazy.
I'm trying to tell you that some of those politicians y'all got over there scared the Jesus out of me.
Yeah, man, we trying to turn the state blue. It would turn purple during the election. Yeah. So it's almost there. We almost there, baby. It's coming.
Well, I want to play a quick game with you, man. It ain't even a game. I'm just going to show you an image, doggone it. I already know what's going to come to mind when you see this image, bro. What you going to say about this, though, Tony? Huh?
The future goat.
Yeah,
you don't know. People don't understand how long we have waited for a real quarterback. Because before him, Trent Green was my all-time favorite Chiefs quarterback. Trent Green, who's probably not even a Hall of Famer.
No.
He might be borderline. This dude right here, man, we'll be back. We'll be back. Trust me.
Without question, though. He's the next
level.
level.
That is my dude, man.
He's next level, bro. He's next level.
This
He's next level. What else I got for you here? I want to show
it's
you.
so unbelievable for KC fan. You see, I got my Chiefs hat right now, baby.
I know you guys.
I'm
Look,
all about
Tony, I've never
my
heard you
Chiefs.
talk about any other sport except for Chiefs football.
Well,
is
my
the
Knicks,
truth.
man.
That's
It used
the
to be
truth.
my Knicks back
Oh,
in the
you did?
90s.
Okay.
But yeah, I know. You
Knickers.
should know. You a New
Knickerbockers.
Yorker.
Man,
That's
it was
right.
fun. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was fun to see people back in the garden, and then it was also fun to just see them winning some games for a change, man.
I
Just
know,
winning some games.
dude.
It was nice.
Y'all might get my man. You might get Dame Dash.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen. I would love to see
Yeah.
that happen, man. That would be something, wouldn't it? So
Yeah,
who you got tonight, man? Who you got tonight? Big game tonight.
I kind of want Giannis to go on and knock this out.
Get it over with.
Go on, get it over with. Shut it down. Now I'm a CP3 fan. He is one of my top 5 point guards all time. But I don't. He's slowing the game down. I hate it, but now they ain't gonna back down. This is gonna be this is the game tonight. To me, this is the game. But I think Giannis. Think they're gonna do it, baby.
You know what I've been impressed about in this series is Devin Booker.
Well,
Good Lord.
I mean,
I didn't even know he was that
on.
good. He put the ball up, it literally goes in. He puts it up, it goes in.
he done hit 40 the last 2 games.
Oh,
But the problem,
his future is
CP is slowing it down.
slowing it down.
He's slowing that offense down. They need to run, man. They got to run. So, I love Devin. He is not Kobe Bryant yet, regardless of what Stephen A. Smith say.
Yeah, they don't need to compare him to Kobe. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Don't do that.
Come on. He's dope.
He's a great
just
player.
not Kobe.
Come on, Kobe. That's a little early.
He's not
comparing
Kobe.
a guy to Kobe.
Yeah.
You can ruin a guy's
He's
career.
not Kobe.
Hey,
Right.
so here's a bit of news unrelated to sports, but things were going along in Minneapolis and all that, and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis picks up and they moved to L.A. I had this little clip here. I just wanted to share it with you. I thought it was interesting.
Wow. That's cool. I never saw that.
And when that happened back in the day. And here's another one. We don't have very many pictures together, Tony, but here's one at we were at I don't even know where we were. I know that Janet Jackson's in this picture, low key. Carl Kanai or whoever it was that did the baggy clothes he used to give them to us, and then Tina Landon. There's your boy Dre down there on the lower right, and then you can see me right in the back, right behind Tina on the right hand side there, trying to fit in and get in with the crew. Man, I tell you,
That
interesting
must have
times.
been no, it was good times, bro. I think that's the Black Music Awards.
I'm not sure.
If I'm not
I really
mistaken.
couldn't place this picture, but
If it's not that, it's in. Were you in LA at that time?
I don't think I was.
Did you ever come out
I think
to
this
LA?
might have been
So
a Mall of
that's-
America event or something, or some kind of
Yeah.
event where he had the clothes and he was trying to show them and give them away and stuff like that. And remember in the 90s, we were all
That's
rocking the
right.
super baggy clothes with the floppy hats. Like, bro, like, whose idea was that?
I don't know if that's ever gonna come back, yo.
I know that's right. I look at some
That
of the
whole
pictures now,
look
Prof, and
like-
I'm just like, I was wearing that, but you can't see. Like if you had
Well,
muscles,
look what I got on, man.
muscle free.
I like a referee
Hey,
with a what is it? A kashiki?
Oh, my
a
God.
kashiki.
I don't know, but that's the
referee.
kind of stuff. When it's free, you don't really complain. You just take the stuff when it's free and you put it on
That's
your
right, baby.
backside. That's what
And
we did.
they hooked us up. I had plenty of it. We wore it in
Hey, man, I ain't
videos
mad.
and everything else.
Good times was had. What else I got for you, Prof? So I know you did so you worked with Low Key. I mean, with the Low Key in the group. So now Low Key 2.0 is the thing. So you guys are revamping. What's happening with the new
Yeah,
group?
man. Yeah, man. We are. I mean, we've had. The thing about it. And this is what I tell folks. Is everybody says the same thing, man. When y'all coming back out? What y'all doing, man? What's happening? Well, in case y'all didn't know, the industry has changed quite a bit. And the thing is first of all, it's always been a young man's game in the first place. But nowadays, you have to do everything that you didn't have to do when you were signed to a label. Meaning back in the day, you were artists. The artists took care of the videos. They took care of the travel. They took care of the photos. They took care of the studio time. They booked the studio time. They got you, if you needed a producer, whatever. Everything was handled by the label. Well, now you are solely your own business. And in these days, you're a little older. Everybody got families. Everybody living their lives. It's just the time it takes. We're in different parts of the country. The time it takes to write the record, figure out how to get it out there, figure out how to get pictures done, it's a headache. So we have started writing though. and we're gonna do some recording at the end of the month. We got a few songs, two songs in particular that we actually feel good about. So we will see what happens. I won't put any more on it. I won't promise anything, but
Good.
some
Listen,
things are
man. Here's
brewing.
the deal. Come on, Prof. I gotta pep talk you right now because here's the thing. I was just talking to Robert Coolbell and his people recently, right? And kicking in with these people. They've been working 66 years.
Yeah.
Okay, bruh. You ain't too old. We can still do this. I'm not gonna hit no stage anytime soon and do no dancing and swagging, but writing songs. I mean, but that's the difficult thing is you put so much passion. People don't understand how much passion goes into if you're a true songwriter. You're putting your feelings and your heart in that. And how long can you do that? I mean, how long can you keep doing that?
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
No, I
Isn't that
agree.
tough?
Like I said, it's really a young man's game. And I mean, God bless School in the Game, but geez, they got tons of hits.
True.
So they really don't have a choice. They need to stay working
Yeah, that's true.
because
I mean, I'm seeing
they've left their mark.
bands coming back. I mean, I'm definitely
Yeah.
seeing that retro band thing or that vintage band or what are you, old school or whatever. You know what I mean? And I know you guys set up and
Right.
did like a couple things in the past, and you like the Summer Soul
Yeah.
Fest and stuff like that in KC and whatnot.
Yeah. Yep.
You see yourself
We've
doing
been
more of that type
playing.
of stuff in the future?
Yeah, man. I mean, the thing is, we get calls to do, shows here and there around the country. Of course, it just depends on the timing and the situation, the money. Uh, but I think for us, it'll have a lot more to do with getting a new record out. We get a new record out, I think the phone will be blowing up even more. And then we can go out and do some stuff. Because my thing is, I don't want to come back and be an artist full time again. I'm over it. Let the kids do that, yo. I'm good. I'm moving on to other things. But I do think we have something else to give.
Mm-hmm.
So just one more record, see what happens. No pressure, put it out. Hopefully everybody enjoys some new music. And we won't put a lot on it. Just really just doing it for the fun of it, for the love of it.
I feel you. That
Yeah,
could be
man.
good. That could be good for you. And then
Yeah.
in the future, you're wearing suits as businessmen, sitting up at some of these labels, making decisions on some of these young artists based on the experience that you have, bro, as opposed to somebody guessing, trying to figure it out on the run. You know what I mean? So these people
Yeah,
need to be
man.
looking these labels need to be looking at veterans like you and the guys in your group and saying, yo, what can these guys bring me that will help me keep some of these artists on track? Like, what's wrong with the mentality of people that they don't want to tap into the veterans like you and get you involved, man? What's up?
I think it's because the business is the wild, wild west now.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's not. I mean, there's really three labels, and I don't even know if it's three. It might just be Sony and like two others that kind of make some noise, but everything is more consolidated.
Crazy.
The process to get signed and put on is different. I mean, you pretty much got to have everything intact, unless somebody with some real, maybe a Beyonce walks your record in like she did for Chloe X, for example. But no, the game is just considerably different, man. And unless you just kind of kept at it, just kind of kept hanging around, and I don't really know. Like everybody I knew who was in the game behind the scenes, kind of doing something else, or maybe they're consulting, more on a independent basis. They're not working for a label.
Right.
What a label is completely different. Completely different. Heck, people don't know this. Record companies made more money last year than they have actually, I think they made the most money last year than ever. Yeah, surprising.
For what? Like just sales?
Catalog,
Playback
baby.
plays? Huh?
Catalog.
Catalog.
What happened is they do deals with the streaming services because artists don't really get no money from the streaming services. But because of the licensing terms, the labels own the licensing. So they're making a killing right now. And we had, during the pandemic, streaming went up like 110% because people had nothing else to do.
Right.
So that money was rolling in. And the genre that made the most money, hip hop.
Of course.
Hip hop.
Of course.
Black music made 30%, 36% of the revenue from last year's music streaming.
Hey,
Black music.
I'm not surprised they get their peaches down in Georgia.
I get my weed from California.
You gotta love it, man. Hey, I'm stoked that we're still alive and well and happy and healthy, bro. And I'm really trying to focus on trying to do something like this show that gives me a chance to step out from behind the curtain and talk to guys that I interacted with, over the years, man, and just kind of reestablish communications. Let people know, who this person is and so forth. Giving people flowers. Let's get some flowers out, man, because
I loved it. I saw the Carrie interview. That was great.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Carrie Lewis. That's my bro.
Yeah,
I gotta reach out to him. But no, man, I think this format is awesome, brother.
I appreciate
this is smart. Your presentation is beautiful, man. It's fun. You got stuff happening. I've been on a few.
Nice.
I'll be honest, I've been on a few of these. And this is probably the best produced podcast I've seen.
Well, damn, I'm gonna keep doing it then, because I'm gonna tell you, I said, look, man, this might be my last one. I'm just like, but a lot of work goes into this. I mean, I'm not just sitting around here just waiting for you to call me. I put in some work, you know what I mean? Because I want you to look good. I want to look good. I want it to feel good and so forth. And I'm trying to get this thing syndicated, baby. That's where we're going. We're going straight to the top, baby, because my mama watching and she wants to watch it on cable because the whole streaming thing is difficult for her.
That's right.
So put it on TV, please. No, we all good, man. You know what? I'm blessed to be here. I really am, and I just keep making moves, baby. Because what else I'm gonna do?
Yeah. Bro? Yeah, man. No, you got to do it, brother. I love this. I think it's.
I'm so glad.
I didn't know this was you, dude. You are holding this down. I love it.
You're number 32, like OJ. Hey, if the glove don't fit. Hey, Prof, I love you, man. I really do. And we're like brothers because we're kindred souls. We were in a certain scenario together. It was almost like a Vietnam in a sense, right? It was
That's
wild, bro. Not many people can say they experienced what we did, and we did that.
Not at all, Doc. Not at all, yo.
So,
I haven't given up music, man. I'm still working on a few things.
Please don't. Yeah. Don't give up music, man. Stay with that because I really believe that it's all coming back around. Speaking of which, have you heard the album by the fellas? They dropped the record, the Volume 1.
Yes.
It's all over the place.
It is, man. I got to give them props, man. Let me say this, though. I'm going to throw this one in there. I missed being on that record. I was almost on that record. Because we did a song that they were going to do on the Isley Brothers, but Ron Isley loved it. And they were literally about to record it, and then he couldn't make it into town. And of course, that messed up their whole scheduling to get the record out, so they had to move forward without that song. So hopefully it's on Volume 2. The song is dope, too. I patting myself on the back, yo. I'm telling you. It's
I pray that song gets on Volume 2.
Yeah, man, because Ron loved it. It's dude. Yeah, so
and the Isleys too. The Isleys still working. Them are still working, bro. You gotta love it.
They just dropped a record.
I know, and it's on the hip hop chart. Look, and Jam and Lewis too. Those guys are older than us.
Yeah.
That's the thing I always rely on. Look, Jimmy and Terry are both older than me. I'm still younger than both of y'all. So
That's right. They old.
Now I love them cats, man. I love the Flight Time days and the Flight Time family members of which you are one and I am one. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer, man. But let me hit you with this real quick. Just a horn sample. It ain't nothing, Tony. Hey, man.
You got all kinds of stuff going on here, yo.
Hey, man. I got some stuff over here because people be asking me like, why are you doing or whatever. I be like,
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Yes.
That's more saying yes. Hey, man, I be having fun with it. But look, partner, I ain't gonna keep you, man, because I know you got stuff to do. And my show is only literally about 30 minutes. So we are at 39.
Oh, we done?
We are over. But Tony, thank you so much for coming out here, bro, and doing my show. I really appreciate you. Anything else you want to talk to me about before you go? Anything you want to share or kick or let us beware of anything at all?
I'm going to just say this. Mississippi Lake And that's all I'm gonna say.
Ah.
And we'll see. This is Mississippi
okay.
lady. Just remember I said Mississippi lady.
Very good, very good. Ladies and
That's all
gentlemen,
I'm
that is my brother right there. That's Prof T. Ladies and
Jeff, I
gentlemen,
love
thank
you, man.
so much, Prof.
I love you, dude.
Love
I
you,
got a
man.
call.
I'm
We
gonna be
got
in
to
touch.
chat, man.
Let's hook up. Come to Florida. Come to Florida. All right?
Oh,
Beaches.
Yeah.
Beaches.
Yeah.
Beaches.
yes. I'm there.
All right, brother.
Can we skinny dip?
We can, if you want to. I know a spot. With
Well,
a cigar
I
in your
mean,
mouth, you can.
I'm going to watch women's skinny dip, but yeah.
Prof, get at me,
Put
bro. I
that
love
on
you,
the
man.
agenda.
And one love, man. One love. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the one and only Professor Tony Tolbert. Low key in the house. Low key is in the building. Look for some new stuff from Tony and the group because I know that those guys will be back. They coming back. Low key 2.0. That's my guy right there. Love you, Tony. Thank you, brother. Thank you for doing the show. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tony Tolbert, Prof Teezy, or Profitable Tony. Depends. Ask Usher. Usher can tell you. Usher can tell you all about it. Listen, I want to talk to you real quick about something that's important to me, and that is suicide prevention. So look, if you know somebody who's down or out, you know, just sitting around and moping and depressed and so forth, and maybe you can be a lifeline to them by offering them this information, share this number. It's 1-800-273-TALK. You could probably help somebody, and it'd be a good thing if you did. I mean, I really think it would be a good thing to reach out to somebody and help them. So look, if you want to reach a hold of me, you can reach a hold of me. That was country, but I said it. I'm all these places, man, on Twitter. You know, I'm on Facebook Live where you're seeing this, YouTube Live. You know, Instagram is where most of the stuff is popping and so forth. But I'm out there. I got some books that I've written. They're out there in the market. You can cop these and some sample CDs and stuff like that. Beats for you to get in the studio and create some things with. Man, look, I'm just happy to be a creator and happy to be a part of, you know, the family that is, you know, the Flight Time family, and have friends like Prof T that I can call up on and say, look, man, I know I ain't talked to you in forever, but if you will be willing to jump on a live call with me, that would be dope. And then what does the brother do? He says, okay. See, that's cool. Low Key, I love Low Key, one of the best R&B groups of the 90s. You think Silk, Shy, Low Key. You feel me? The boys is out there doing their thing. So anyway, again, thank you so much to that man for coming out and, you know, spending some time with me today. What else I got for you? I think that's about all I got. Oh, but my next guest, I wanted to tell you about my next guest. This cat is Malcolm Joseph. He's a bass player, a musician, a composer, and he's played with Grace Jones, UB40. He's got a new record coming out, you know, that he wants to come and talk about. I'm looking forward to having him visit from across the pond, come and sit with me for a little bit, and we're going to talk about his new record and what's going on over there in London, mate. Over in London, mate. Anyway, that's all I got to do. That's all I got to say. End of the show. Gotta go. Until next time, I hope you will tune in because your boy's here. And you know what he's saying? He's saying you can pull up on me
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
anytime you want.
Don't worry about it.
I'm Madjef. This is the Madjefmusic Show. I gotta go. And I'm out. Until next time.